Hey everybody, my name is Steven Stanage, and a very controversial topic today in the United States is recreational use of marijuana. According to the Center for Disease and Control and Prevention, excessive alcohol use has led to over 88,000 deaths and 2.5 million years of potential life loss for every year per year in the United States. While according to WebMD, two very highly funded and dominant research studies have shown that marijuana cannot kill somebody. And today I'd like to share with you why I feel as though marijuana should be legal for anyone in the United States, not just selected countries. I've taken a 400 level course called Drugs and Society and got the opportunity to meet and speak with Jane West via Skype. She was voted top 20 most influential people in cannabis by the International Business Times in 2015. I've seen various documentaries on Netflix and Hulu, and I've taken biology courses to understand the physiology and how THC works in a person's body. And lastly, I've spent time in Colorado where marijuana use is legal for anyone over 21. So today I'd like to explain the benefits that marijuana can have, the way our country could generate lots of money through marijuana, and how legalizing marijuana could reduce crime rate exponentially. According to medical marijuana, there are now over 26 different states with medical marijuana dispensaries. And that should shed a little bit of light into, although not every state may have marijuana legalized for recreational use, but it's still used for medical purposes. And I feel like marijuana, in a sense, is pigeonholed by only being able to smoke, but cookies, pops, gummy bears, topical spray, bubble gum are all a few varieties of different ways you can get THC in your body. This right here, I actually got at a dispensary. It's cookies. There are 10 of them. There's nothing in there anymore, but each cookie has 10 milligrams of THC in it, and on the back it gives directions on how to use and as well as the nutritional facts behind it. Marijuana is prescribed for various things, anything from cancer, Asperger's, Lou Gehrig's disease, back pain, arthritis, schizophrenia, pretty much any sort of personal ailment marijuana has been prescribed for. And this comes from the United Parents Group. And although some states allow recreational use for any persons over the age of 21, the more potent marijuana is for patients who have prescriptions from their physicians. Marijuana, of course, doesn't necessarily cure these diseases, but what it has shown to do is for cancer patients, it's given appetites to eat. For those who struggle with chronic arthritis, it's relieved pain. For those with anxiety, it's relieved anxiety. And for those with sleep disorders, it's helped people sleep and get important REM sleep that everyone needs to survive. What is legal, though, for all these types of illnesses are prescription pills. The thing about prescription pills like oxycodone, hydrocodone, Valium, Xanax, Klonopin, Adderall, Ambien, they're all very addictive. They're all very dangerous. They're easy to get from a family physician. They're dealt just like marijuana is dealt. And ironically, pharmaceutical companies are teamed up with alcohol companies who both do not want marijuana to be legalized. In the state of Colorado, they made so much money in tax during the first year of complete legalization that the government actually had to issue refunds to all the taxpayers due to exceeding amounts of the collectible taxes. This is actually a short answer question in my Drugs and Society class. According to CNN, tax revenues in making marijuana legal for recreational use has generated more than $53 million. If marijuana were legalized, not only would it open up more job opportunities, but it would contribute millions of dollars towards our country's already very, very large debt. And currently today, thousands of people are working with cannabis. They're working at dispensaries and enjoying what they have a passion for, but that's only in certain states. in most dispensaries, marijuana products are taxed from 20 to 25%. These cookies that I received from the dispensary were 20% taxed. And people are still willing to pay for it, that's tourists and locals. And in my Drug Society class, we learned that the street prices of marijuana are sold pretty similarly at dispensaries, which leads me to the question that if every state were to legalize marijuana, how much money would we generate? And only estimations are available for that. And it also makes me think that if drug dealers realized that consumers could buy marijuana legally for the same price that they're selling, wouldn't marijuana dealers go broke? I'm not sure. But it's funny today to talk about a time in history where alcohol was illegal, but people still drank, bootleggers became gangsters, and we as a society came to an agreement and realized that we crave alcohol too much to where the crime did not fit the punishment, or however you want to word that. Now, if I asked you if you've heard of anyone who's been arrested for selling alcohol, you'd laugh at me, of course, because it's legal, right? Well, why wouldn't marijuana be the same? And according to ACLU original analysis, marijuana arrests now account for over half of all drug arrests in the United States. From that same ACLU original analysis, of the 8.2 million people that were arrested from 2001 to 2010, 88% were for simply having marijuana on them. These same people that were arrested would not have been arrested if they were in a different part of our own country. This should open the eyes of taxpayers, because we as taxpayers have to spend money to incarcerate these people. Is it really fair for us as taxpayers to spend money on people for nonviolent crimes, where these same crimes in other locations in our country are simply just like going out and having a beer? I don't think so, personally. As many of you know, Portugal shocked the world in 2001 by completely decriminalizing all drugs, from heroin to marijuana to LSD, you name it. Everything was decriminalized. And what I find fascinating was during the spark of the war on drugs in the 80s, Portugal figured, well, we'll follow what the United States has done, and of course the United States has got to be right. But they realized that year after year after year, nobody gained anything. So what did Portugal do? They completely flipped the script and decriminalized all their drugs. Now, today, ironically, since 2001, all drug use in Portugal has declined. And what I find fascinating about what Portugal does is, if you're using heroin on the side of the street or smoking a joint or something like that, you don't get arrested and you're not incarcerated. You're offered free rehabilitation. Or if instead of incarcerating somebody, giving them felonies and pigeonholing them into not having access to getting other jobs because they may be felons, Portugal allows those people to not be stuck in that rut hole and find a job. So, in conclusion, I hope that everyone understands a little bit more about why people are so adamant about making marijuana legal in the United States. I shared with you the healing advantages of marijuana, the money that comes with marijuana, and how it could reduce crime exponentially. I want to thank you all for being good listeners, and hope you learned a little bit more about cannabis. Thank you.
Ah!